Hi, folks. I'm Dan McDermott. This is the McDermott Report. We're live weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tonight's show is a bit earlier than usual. Some big news happening today. Virginia Tech had a scare, a lockdown, an alleged gunman on the loose. We'll have the details on that story. Also, the federal government recently raised the debt ceiling, saving the economy. In unrelated news, Wall Street lost $1 trillion today. Emily Williams is my guest tonight, senior political writer for the Lynchburg Times. And there you go. Emily, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for moving the show for me, Dan.
It's no problem. We have a few technical glitches, but hopefully we're still functioning here. All right. I am not convinced that we are actually, I think we're okay. Are we okay? All right, let's talk about the Virginia Tech scare. I remember the first one. It was a nightmare. So many people lost their lives. And then today we heard that there was a report of a gunman. Apparently 3 14-year-olds said they saw what appeared to be a gunman. And they put the school on lockdown. Now, there were no college students present, or at least they weren't in regular session. This is a summer school period for them. So we're talking, teenage kids. And, of course, everyone freaked out. Oh, no, not again. And then they've now released a composite sketch. We don't know. It's a male in a blue and white striped shirt and gray shorts, I think, or something. And all the reporters rushed over there. And we watched as news anchors read the same 3 paragraphs of information released by the school over and over again, each time trying to phrase it slightly different way as they had their breaking news music playing, that kind of thing. Emily, what do you make of all this? I guess we hopefully have dodged a bullet. And is there any larger meaning to this other than the school seems to have done a better job of keeping people informed than they did the last time?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what turns out, whether there was actually a gunman or not, this really was a great demonstration of Virginia Tech has come on, their notification system and just security in general. So, best safe than sorry.
Okay. It looks like I'm trying to see if I have your audio. We are having some technical difficulties, and I apologize. But okay, here we go. So tell me. Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next. It looks like there's nothing happened since 9 a.m. Thank goodness. And maybe a false alarm. I imagine the 3 kids were questioned heavily in separate rooms to make sure, but maybe they were just being overly cautious. Better safe than sorry. Okay, what do you think about Wall Street? Apparently had a rough day today. They lost $1 trillion, I think 512 points down. I thought that raising the debt ceiling was going to save everything, that it was going to be morning again in America if we increased the debt ceiling, and it doesn't seem to have worked out very well. Have we lost Emily? Well, it doesn't seem to have worked out. The only thing doing worse than Wall Street today is my show. But hopefully I'm going to get her back. And Emily is here in Lynchburg. Yeah, they lost. It was interesting. Japan was attempting to raise the value of the yen, and then or to lower it, and then the Swiss did the same thing earlier, and then the dollar went up, gold went down, and oil is doing okay. So it's sort of a whole bunch of things, and then Wall Street. Hello, Emily. How are you?
Great.
All right. Loud and clear now. So, any thoughts? Do you have a bunch of stocks that have taken a nosedive today? I guess this is what they're calling a correction. I think Rick Santelli said that Wall Street received a financial enema today.
Yeah, I mean, luckily all of the interest I have in the stock market is very long-term, diverse holdings, so it's not anything that's, troublesome on a personal note, but, everyone's saying that this is, it goes right together with everything that's happening in Europe. And there's a lot of worries that this is going to become the double dip that everyone was talking about a while ago, that we will go into a double dip recession. And fingers crossed that we believe this is short term and not long term.
Yep, I agree. We'll see what happens tomorrow. This, I think, was the ninth day out of 10 that the Dow dropped, and it was the biggest drop since, I think, December '08, and the lowest the Dow's been for 8 or 9 months, something like that. We'll see. I mean, you can't judge these on a day-to-day basis, and that's not our specialty either, so we'll look at it in hindsight. Okay, looks like Kraft Foods, now that they've bought all these companies, is going to spin off sections. I guess you were following this last 24 hours. Have we lost it? This is a disaster. This is how not to. I wonder how many people are actually witnessing this. This is a disaster. All right. Anyway, they did that, and the FAA is. The FAA, everyone's going back to work, and that's just wonderful news for all the FAA folks. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
So we've sold Kraft and rehired all the FAA workers. What's the deal with the Nissan Leaf batteries powering homes? I thought they couldn't even power a car more than 150 miles.
Well, I mean, they just announced that they're looking into new technology that would essentially turn your hybrid Nissan Leaf into a gym for your house, which that technology would be great for places that tend to lose power pretty regularly, especially northern areas with lots of snow. And this technology, it could be a great selling point for the car. To take it a step beyond. Although right now, I mean, I hopped on the Leaf website, and you still have to register and sign up on a waiting list to get one of these things. So it's not like they're ready for mass marketing anyway.
Okay. So I'm going to rush out and buy a Nissan Leaf. Okay. Okay. This is a great story. This is one of the funny. I don't know if it was intentional, but this is one of the funniest opening sentences I've ever read in a news story. A Swedish man was arrested after he tried to build a nuclear reactor in his kitchen and documented his efforts on the internet, authorities and the man said Thursday. This guy in Stockholm, or in southern Sweden, gathered a bunch of stuff. He said, I was just curious to see if it was possible. It was just a hobby. He documented his efforts on his Facebook page and on his blog. I'm afraid to not look at the phone to see if Emily's still there. He mixed ingredients in a cooker, American radium, a bunch of other EMs, sulfuric acid. The boiling explosion was about 3 or 4 months ago, and the police came 2 weeks ago, he said. This is from Reuters after the incident, which he tagged the meltdown on his blog. He said he cleaned up the mess on the cooker, and I bought some more radium and continued the experiment. The Radiation Safety Authority said that they raided his flat July 20th after hearing that he was handling nuclear materials in an unsafe way. I don't know why they raided him. I mean, he was on Facebook, and I guess the Swedes need to beef up their social network monitoring. Maybe they could get some of those East German guys that used to work there. Mm-hmm. There were no raised levels of radiation. He reported the raid laconically on his website, writing, "Project canceled." He was detained shortly after, freed. I'm still a suspect for a crime against the radiation safety law, he said. So I guess this is a lesson. Anyone contemplating building a nuclear reactor in your kitchen, don't do it in Sweden. I don't know if there's any larger lesson here. I just thought it was a great opening line and a funny story.
Yeah, to me it just sounded like what would happen if Homer Simpson existed in real life. I think this is like the ultimate real-life Simpsons episode.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who's your cell phone provider?
AT&T.
Oh, how shocking. Another reason. Is it your phone or does AT&T suck? Because I remember you were all excited because you were moving and you were going to have better cell coverage. And you were in the inner city before and it sucked, and now...
Yeah, I'm getting 3G coverage right now. I'm not sure. I think it might be something that's interfering with maybe the hookup on your end, because this keeps disconnecting me. I'm not. I mean, I've been using the phone all day and haven't had problems. So
strange. Okay, and then now there's just a couple more quick stories here. There's a new brand of saggy jeans, and this is exciting news. They've improved them now. Now you can buy. I don't know if I want to do this story. You can buy, it's special jeans, only online, and apparently it's a special pair of boxer shorts, and they snap or attach to the jeans so that they won't fall, and you can sag even more if you're into that. And they describe, the only thing that's interesting to me is they say that they thought that this whole thing came out of prison. You were probably too young to remember, but they didn't used to do this. And then I think it was when I was a kid, everyone wore like, white Hanes or Fruit of the Loom briefs, and the only boxer shorts were those gigantic polyester ones that your grandpa wore or military guys wore, and like you'd see on MASH, right? And then they invented fashionable underwear, and I guess people figured if you spent $15 on a pair of shorts, you want to show them off, and so the kids started doing this. I don't know if there's. Or maybe Marky Mark caused it. I don't know. Have you read any studies on this in your master's degree thesis?
No, not at all.
Oh well, we'll find it. We'll dig and find the answer to this story, and report on it as soon as we do. Last story. This is great. This is my favorite story. This is Reuters. Bears saved from forced vodka drinking. Ukraine's environment minister, unpronounceable name, vowed on Wednesday to free all bears kept in restaurants for entertainment purposes and often forced to drink alcohol, according to Interfax. Captured and tamed bears were often used for entertainment in the Russian Empire, which included Ukraine, turning the animal into a national symbol. The practice appears to have also survived Ukraine's emergence from Soviet rule, but he said it was inhumane and unacceptable. On television, they keep showing bears suffering in restaurants and roadside hotels. How long can we tolerate animal torture in restaurants where drunken guests make bears drink vodka for laughs? Okay, first of all, you're not going to make a bear do anything. Second of all, I can think of worse forms of torture than to be put in a bar forced to drink.
I'm sure the bears don't appreciate it, though.
I don't know.
When I read the story, all I could think of is, I can't believe it's 2011 and they're just deciding this now. I mean, it's crazy that it's gone on for so long.
And they're building a sanctuary to liberate 80 of the bears. Yeah, I think this is the whole notion you're going to go in and make a bear drink vodka, especially a Russian bear. I imagine they're all born, waiting for their first sip. And I don't know, don't they like wrestle bears in some circuses? Like a guy gets in a cage with a bear and they fight? Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
I've seen a bear, even a bear cub, and you're terrified, right? I mean, that's a human reaction.
Yeah.
They could this is an animal that could rip your face off with one swap of its fist. I don't know. I guess they're going to liberate the bears. This is, I don't know. More power to them. From the torture of being forced to sit in a bar and drink vodka. Maybe they should move from the bears on to some of... I'm not going to go there. I don't want to offend all of our Ukrainian viewers. Okay, Emily Williams, senior political writer from the Lynchburg Times, joining me on this technically challenging episode of McDermott Report. And you're off to a big dinner. Emily's gplus.to/EmilyKW. And then you can also check out all of her wonderful writing at lynchburgtimes.com. She is a master's degree holding senior political writer of that wonderful newspaper, which I publish. Okay, so Emily, thanks so much. I appreciate it. This is the McDermott Report. Thank you so very much for tuning in tonight. And we'll be back Monday. I'll be back. When am I with you? Monday with Emily. Tomorrow night is This Week in Google with Christina Trapolino and my buddy Daniel Bowie in Vancouver. So that's happening tomorrow night. Thanks so much for watching. This is the McDermott Report. I'm Dan McDermott.